Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
BAL Tire.
It was a big day for the Tigers offense yesterday, and it all started at the top. Ian Kinsler and Torrey Hunter combined for 5 hits, 2 RBIs. Today the Tigers try and make it 2 straight. Welcome to Comerica Park. Game 2 featuring the Orioles and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. We are glad to have you with us here today. So Tigers trying to make it 4 consecutive victories to start the year. Big news yesterday, aside from the entire offense showing up, Miguel Cabrera hit number 2,000 rod. And when we start making graphics about Miguel Cabrera, usually the guys we put him on are guys who are in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he's special. There's no debate about that. And we've been very, very fortunate to watch Miguel Cabrera since he's had that Tigers uniform on, and really when he was playing for the Florida Marlins. But you take a look at the company that this guy keeps these days. In his first 12 major league seasons, 2,000 hits, 300 homers, over 1,200 RBIs. DiMaggio, Aaron, Robertson, and Albert Pujols, the only 4 to do that. So just a real special player and really a joy to watch every day.
Now, there are a lot of things to be really impressed with Miguel Cabrera, but one of the things that always stands out to us, Ryder, is the fact that he makes a lot of adjustments, whether it's day by day or at bat by at bat.
Well, case in point, yesterday, day by day, the Baltimore Orioles, every time Miguel shows up, they want him to pull the baseball because he hits the ball so hard to right center field and right field. So what does he do yesterday? 3 singles, 1 up the middle, 2 in the left field, and then the big home run to left field. So he's got tremendous bat range. He's smarter than most of the pitchers. He knows exactly what he's going to do. He clears his hips out of fastballs inside when he's looking for those. And usually when he's looking for those fastballs and looking to do some damage, as he did yesterday, that's what he can do. And how about Miggy? 2,000 hits. And the 2,000 hits was a home run, so he's just a special player, and he loves big moments. He's outstanding.
All right, there is no rain at the ballpark today. Beautiful sunny day for baseball. The Tigers and O's getting set to do battle. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios and join Mickey York. But coming up today, he won 13 ball games last year, finally getting a start this year. Rick Porcello takes the hill. Tigers O next. to the field today, making his first start of the 2014 campaign. The Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles here in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. And the numbers on Rick Porcello, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, Rick Porcello won 13 games last year. Features a fastball that will get to 95 miles an hour. That's the 4-seam fastball. His signature pitch is a 2-seamer. That's how he gets all those ground balls that he's able to throw. And he'll need that pitch this afternoon to be successful against a Baltimore Orioles offense that really hasn't woken up yet.
Well, they've got a few more of their starters back in here today as we check out the Orioles starting lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. David Lowe will lead it off. He'll play in left. Nelson Cruz batting second in the ball game. He's playing in right field. Chris Davis, Adam Jones to follow. Markakis bumps down to 5. He's the DH. J.J. Hardy is back in there. Matt Wieters is back in there. Lombardozzi and Scope rounded out for the Baltimore Orioles. Meanwhile, Don Kelly getting a start at third base today for the Tigers. His first action of 2014.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment this afternoon. Very important in the infield with Kelly and Gonzalez and Kinsler and Cabrera. Porcello throws tons of ground balls. Avila will handle him today. He's caught all 4 of the Tigers' games this year. Davis, Jackson, and T. Hunter are in the outfield. And, of course, that Tigers' defense is always presented by Beaumont Health System.
Well, we're ready for baseball today. The temperature's in the low 40s, but it doesn't seem that bad because it is nothing but sunny and clear skies here today, which is a big departure from yesterday. Had the 35-minute rain delay, had rainy and cool temps all afternoon long. Not so this afternoon. David Lowe is stepping in to lead things off for the Orioles. He is 1 for 7 to start the new year. Got his first hit yesterday in Game 1 in the series.
Different look for Buck Showalter's offense this afternoon. Lowe leading off. Cruz batting second. Markakis batting a little lower in the lineup, trying to find some pop, somebody that can drive in some runs.
Yeah, it's an Orioles team that by and large is going to be one of the better offenses in the American League this year, but off to a slow start with the sticks. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on David Lowe.
It's amazing what one player will do to your offense when he's out, and that's Manny Machado. When they get him back, the offense will work a little bit more efficiently.
It's going to be a whole lot deeper for sure. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lifted foul back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on David Lowe.
You know the story by now on Porcello. He scrapped the slider last year. He was only a 3-pitch pitcher, which was the fastball, the curve, and the change. The curveball was a really good pitch for Porcello, and it's also a pitch that needs to evolve a little bit more if he's going to have better success this year against left-handed batters.
1-2 sails outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on David Lowe. Rick, a 13-game winner last year. Just seems to go about his business every season and had an ERA a little bit over 4 last year. Here's the 2-2. Inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Lowe.
Good fastball there. 92 miles an hour. 2-seam fastball.
Porcello became just one of 4 actives to win 60 games by the age of 25. And he's in good company. Kershaw, Cece, and Felix Hernandez. And there is ball 4. Leadoff man is on for the O's. First walk of the ball game for Porcello. Well, here are today's game conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. And we mentioned that the temperature is in the low 40s, 41 to be exact. But the important thing, cool and sunny and dry today. A little bit of a breeze, 17-mile-an-hour breeze actually blowing out toward right field. Here is Nelson Cruz batting in the 2 spot. We have not seen him in his big league career bat in this spot all that often. He has typically been in more of the power spots in the lineup. Runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second. Tag safe. Lowe slides in just ahead of the throw by Alex Avila.
Outstanding jump there by David Lowe, taking advantage of the fact that Rick Porcello is not all that quick at getting the ball to home plate, and they want to stay out of a double play with Cruz in that batter's box. Avila with a real nice exchange, real nice throw, but the throw was a little high. If the throw's a little bit lower, then probably Kinsler is able to apply that tag to the left foot before it gets to the bag.
It was that close. Here's the 1-0 to Cruz. Bouncing ball to short. This will not advance the runner. Gonzalez. And Cruz is out, 1 out. Lowe holding at second base. Now Chris Davis will dig in. That's what Rick Porcello does. He gets ground balls, and we anticipate he will get quite a few here today. That ground ball to fly ball ratio was second in the American League last year. Davis so far this year 3 for 13. And for most of the day yesterday, he was all of their offense. A 2-run double early. Shoots that one in the air toward left field. Davis is on the move. It's going to drop in. That'll get a run in. Davis on his way to second, and the throw is in time out at second base. Chris Davis gets an RBI. Rajai Davis throws him out.
And the Baltimore Orioles will try to challenge the arm of Davis in left field. Davis doesn't have a strong arm, but he has speed, so he gets the balls rather quickly, and he has a nice release. Nice tag here by Kinsler, staying with Davis, trying to elude the tag.
So the Orioles take the lead, but Rajai Davis picks up an outfield assist. 2 outs now, bases empty for Adam Jones, and he looks at ball one.
Next time Davis comes to the plate and there's a base open, Porcello should think about possibly pitching around him. Davis has outstanding numbers against Porcello.
That first pitch actually a strike, and that one's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Jones. Adam was 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk, and now 3 for 13 on the year. Wave and a miss. Rick Porcello last year made 29 starts, still only 25 years old. He got to the big leagues at a very young age, the age of 20 to be exact. Here's the 1-2. Right to the second baseman, Kinsler, and they say that he picked it up before it hit the ground. Didn't need to make the throw. Half inning over. They get a run on the RBI by Davis. Top 3 coming up for the Tigers. Kinsler, Hunter, Cabrera. They were 9 for 14 yesterday. Run on the RBI hit by Chris Davis. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Tigers starting lineup is as follows, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler, Hunter, Cabrera. Your top 3. Big day for Miggy yesterday in so many ways. Victor is the DH today, followed by Jackson Avila catching, and your bottom 3 is Gonzalez, Don Kelly at third this afternoon, and Rajai Davis out there in left field, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Mr. Bud Norris.
And Baltimore Orioles acquired Norris last year at the trade deadline on July 31st, combined 10-12 with the Houston Astros and the Orioles. He has a fastball that will top out at 95, but he averages about 92. slider, changeup, cutter, curveball, the rest of his repertoire.
So he will face a Tigers offense which really woke up yesterday. The Tigers, pounding out 17 hits. They scored 10 runs. We'll see what is in store here this afternoon. Kinsler is 5 out of 14 to start the new year, and he looks at a strike 0-1. Ian with 1 home run, 3 RBIs. The 0-1 from Norris. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bud Norris is 29 years old, hails from Green Bay, California, that is. And that is outside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And that's what Norris will try to do to most of the right-handed batters today. Fastballs at about 92 on the outside, black. Mostly sliders to the right-handers, change-ups to the left-handed batters.
Norris last September had some elbow soreness, and so he feels that the folks in Baltimore really didn't get to see what he's all about. He was acquired at the trading deadline from Houston. Shot in the air to right field, hit pretty good. Cruz going back though, and he'll make the play.
Let's take a peek at the Baltimore Orioles starting defense. Is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Cruz in right, Adam Jones, the Gold Glover, in center field. David Lowe is in left. Scope, Hardy, Lombardozzi, and Chris Davis in the infield, and their all-star catcher, Matt Wieters, is back in there after the afternoon off yesterday.
Wieters back in, Hardy back in. A couple of the big bats for Buck Showalter in the lineup this afternoon. There's a strike called on Torrey Hunter. Torrey 3 out of 12 for the year. Had a big day yesterday. Was also hit by a pitch yesterday. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Yesterday, Rod, was not one of those days where you wanted to be hit by a pitch.
No, it was one of those cold, damp days, about 35 degrees.
I'm sure you went through that a couple of times in your career, huh?
Absolutely.
Not good. 0-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. On the backhand, Lombardozzi. 2 outs. Now Mr. Cabrera will stand in. Pretty good start for Miggy. 417. Of course, most of that damage done yesterday. A 4-hit day for Miguel. He also had 3 RBIs.
Here's the big one, though, from yesterday. Hit number 2,000 for Miguel Cabrera. And a home run.
It's amazing now what Cabrera's numbers, including yesterday, are career against the Orioles. 401 in his career against Baltimore pitching. But the really impressive thing is that he has 47 RBIs in 46 career games against the O's. Can you imagine if he played his home games at Camden Yards? He tried to check it there.
He'd probably hit 60 home runs a year.
I don't think so. Here are the numbers we spoke of. That is the best against the Orioles of any active player right now.
That's why if you're Bud Norris, and really if you have an open base anytime during the course of the game, you really don't want to mess with Miguel Cabrera, even though it's the first inning.
Cabrera joking after the ball game yesterday, saying, you know, I came to the ballpark wondering if I would ever hit my first home run, because he had gone, what, 2 games without one? And then he showed up with the big fly in the ball game yesterday. And that is on the outside corner, strike 3. Miggy knew it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bud Norris. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Chrysler, come in and get a great deal during the Chrysler Awards season events. And by Dan and Oikos and Stonyfield Greek Yogurt, too delicious to be nutritious. Chilling out there in right field on the couch. Just like the living room. Tigers baseball, nice sunny day.
Must be nice.
It must be. Porcello back to work. It'll be Nick Markakis in the second for the Orioles. And Markakis, who led off in the ball game yesterday, is batting in the 5 slot today. 289 career doubles, which is 6th all-time in the history of the Orioles franchise. That's in for a strike, and the count quickly 0-2 on the Orioles right fielder.
And nice little swing back fastball there thrown by Porcello. Started it right at Markakis. And Markakis gave up on it and it caught the inside corner.
That's in the air to shallow center field. Jackson will lay off and play it on one hop.
And Porcello's already given up a couple of knocks in the game today. Both of those hits to left-handed batters. And if it's one thing going into this season they would love to see Porcello improve on, that's the batting average against left-handers. They hit better than 300 against him last year, whereas right-handers just 238. But the new improved curveball, I think, will help Porcello this year against lefties, just as it has helped Scherzer the last couple of seasons. And Baltimore probably going to be a little bit more aggressive today with Porcello on the mound than they usually are because of the fact that he throws so many ground balls and they just don't want to run themselves into double plays.
Well, last year the ground ball to fly ball ratio was 2.38 to 1, which was second best in the American League. In other words, over 2 ground balls for every fly ball he gets. Strike one on J.J. Hardy, who did not play yesterday, was suffering from some lower back spasms, and if you've ever had back spasms, boy, they can be really painful. And so he was out of the lineup yesterday, but back in there today. Their Gold Glove shortstop, all-star shortstop. The 0-1. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Hardy. Porcello's strikeouts were up last year, career high 140 for the right-hander. You would think that he'll probably get an opportunity to pitch deeper into games, I would think, this year. Here's the 1-1. So many times Porcello never really had a chance to get to 100 or much beyond 100 in a game.
They protected him the first 4 years of his big league career. That's one of the reasons why he's been able to stay healthy. And Porcello hasn't missed any starts since coming to the major leagues.
Leadoff single by Markakis. Orioles have 2 hits in this game. 1-2 is slapped to right field, base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Orioles.
This is exactly what you need to do against a sinker baller, 92-mile-per-hour sinker, and what Hardy tries to do is hit the ball the other way. And that's how you stay off the ground and rolling over if you're simply thinking about inside-outing that fastball and hitting it to right field. Nice job by J.J. Hardy.
So the Orioles already have 3 hits in this game. And they're a team that, as we said, will be very good offensively this year, but they came in scoring just 9 runs in their first 4 games. Matt Wieters looks at a strike. Wieters off to a nice start, 5 for 11 this year. Establishing a career high in games played last season for Baltimore. And Porcello would like a ground ball here with 2 on, nobody out. Here's the 0-1. Way inside, made him move his feet and skip out of the box. If you're wondering, Rick this spring made 5 starts. He threw 24 innings, allowing 8 runs, but he didn't walk anybody. He struck out 21.
That's the second consecutive year that he did not walk anybody in spring training.
Yeah, did it last year as well, and once again this year. Bouncing ball. Gonzalez, he'll flip to second one. Kinsler with a relay, and there's your 6-4-3 double play. 2 gone with a runner at third. And what an equalizer that can be for Rick.
And routine ground ball to Gonzalez. Nice underhand flip to Kinsler, and plenty of time to turn it over. J.J. Hardy could not get there to disrupt the throw back to first base by Ian Kinsler. Such a weapon to have that sink piece that Porcello possesses. And you keep the runners on close. You keep your double plays in order. He gets himself out of a lot of innings with that pitch.
Well, look how it already has changed the complexion of this inning. I mean, you go from first and second, nobody out, to now making a good pitch here on Lombardozzi, and you go back to the dugout. Lombardozzi 3 for 7. Here's the 0-1. And quickly 0-2 on the former Tiger who was traded in spring camp after being picked up by the Tigers in the Fister deal from Washington. Now the 0-2. Way high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There were a lot of fans out there that thought that Porcello should have been the guy traded to Washington instead of Doug Fister, but the Tigers have said all along they like the upside of Porcello. You already talked about the fact that he's got 60 big league wins in 4 seasons in the major leagues. Only a few guys have done that in their careers, to start their careers, I should say.
I mean, it almost seems like Rick doesn't get the credit for what he has really accomplished this early in his career. I mean, he's only 25 years old, and sometimes I think we lose sight of the fact that he got to the big leagues at 20.
It's a great point.
You know, but this guy's won a lot of games.
And he's going to win a lot more games.
Now the 1-2. '61 and 50 over his first 149 starts. He has 1 complete game that came last year at Chicago.
What if I told you Max Scherzer has no complete games? Would you believe me?
Well, no, I wouldn't, and it really is kind of astounding.
It really is.
And Rick himself has only 1.
Max will get his first complete game this year. I'm going out on a limb and saying that.
I'm with you on that. I really think it'll happen. Here's the 1-2. Little pop-up, shallow left field. Rajay coming on, and that is that for the Orioles. Started with a bang, but it fizzled in the end. No runs, 1 man left.
All right.
1-0. Our predictions for today's Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, as presented by the McDonald's new Bacon Clubhouse Burger, are, I'm going to go with Don Kelly today. Who you got, Rod?
I'm going with Mr. Avila this afternoon.
John Keating is checked in with Torrey Hunter. So those are our picks. You'll see the final results. Tigers Live postgame. By the way, Keats yesterday picked Rajai Davis, and the player of the game was Rajai Davis.
Yeah, but he reneged on that vote, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he left.
Oh, well, that's right. He wasn't present to win. That's right.
He wasn't present.
He gave up his claim to the prize. Which, by the way, is a hearty handshake. That's about it.
He might stay a little longer today.
Here's Victor Martinez. Well, Keats is an important guy, man. He's got things to do, people to see. Victor has hit safely in each of his first 3 games. And so far, 3 for 13 on the year. Norris brings it back home and is fouled back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes on the switch hitter, Victor Martinez. Bud Norris, we mentioned, was acquired from the Houston Astros at the trading deadline last year by the Orioles.
Tigers saw him a couple times before he was traded to Baltimore. He didn't have much success against Detroit hitters.
Nice backhanded play by Lombardo. He throw is up the line, but Victor is tagged out. 1 out. By the way, make plans to come to Comerica Park this season. Don't miss your chance to see the Tigers battle the Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, and more. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com and make your plans to be here at the ballpark. Going to be an exciting year. It always is. Here's Austin Jackson. Strike 1 on Jackson, and for the most part, Bud Norris has come out of his dugout throwing strikes. 13 of the 17 that he's thrown so far have hit the strike zone. And there's another one. There's nothing like getting ahead 0-1 and 0-2. What do the pitching coaches say? The best pitch in baseball is strike 1?
Strike 1. And a well-located fastball.
Chopper back up the middle, and it's got to find a hole just out of the reach of J.J. Hardy. And it just snuck by Norris as well.
Oh, 2 breaking ball. Jackson was a little out in front, but he got enough of it and to hit it past Hardy at the shortstop position.
First Tigers hit of this ball game today.
Jackson has the green light. And Brett Austin has told me before the first game of the year about 4 or 5 guys in the everyday lineup can run at will. And I'm sure Jackson is one of those guys. Davis has the green light. Kinsler has the green light as well.
Avila had a walk in yesterday's game, scored a run. Now that Jackson is batting lower in the lineup and he is not hitting in front of guys like Cabrera and last year Fielder and Martinez, do you think he'll run a little bit more this year?
I do. I believe that his stolen bases will go up. They have gone down the last number of years because of the fact that you just brought up, hitting in front of Miggy and guys like Prince, but not this year. He'll be running.
There he goes, right on cue. And he'll go foul, though, down the left field line. AJ 69 stolen bases, 74%.
Ian Kinsler was telling me in spring training how Jackson has been picking his brain as to why he is so successful at stealing bases. Because Jackson has just as much speed as Ian Kinsler does. But Kinsler gets really good jumps, and he's a fearless base stealer. Jackson doesn't have that confidence yet.
That is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're talking to Rajai Davis at spring camp on one of our broadcasts, and that same word came up. What makes a good base stealer? And he said you got to be fearless. You really have to be. You cannot be afraid of being thrown out. That is a big part of being a terrific base stealer.
You can't be thinking about getting picked off. You can't worry about how strong the catcher's arm is. You're stealing the base off the pitcher.
One ball, 2 strikes on Avila. Bud Norris, by the way, is 6 for 6 in first pitch strikes here to start this game. And he's ready with the 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. Alex was 0 for 4 yesterday. Did draw a base on balls. Tigers still, and Brad Ausmus trying to figure out ways to get his reserves in. Don Kelly getting a start today. Brian Holiday has yet to play, and he wants to get Holiday a game pretty soon. That's something Jim Leland always stressed. Getting your regulars, or getting your reserves, I should say, some playing time in the first week and a half of the season. Very critical.
If you want them to have success, you really owe it to them to get them in a contest as soon as you can. If you think about the fact that they're down in Florida or in Arizona, they're playing just about every single day, at least a couple of innings every day. Then all of a sudden the season starts and they don't see the field for 2 weeks. And then you expect guys to be successful.
Runner goes. And another foul down the left field line. It'll get back out of play.
Austin Jackson getting a couple of pretty good jumps against Norris, but Avila has fouled off the pitches when he has been running. And if you're Jackson, you need to get a good jump. With Wieters behind the plate, his arm accuracy and his arm strength, you need to get the best jump possible. He can really throw.
.33% last year for Wieters. His percentage of throwing out runners, among the best in the American League. Bouncing ball to second. Lombardozzi flips to second, one in the relay, a double play. That one goes 4-6-3. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's 2 for $5 mix and match deal today. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price period. Bell Tire. Back here at Comerica Park on a gorgeous afternoon. A little bit chilly, but still the sun is shining. Clear skies.
Nice crowd this afternoon as well.
No doubt. Saturday afternoon baseball here in Detroit. The Orioles on top 1-0 as we go to the top of the third inning. And leading it off is Jonathan Scope against Rick Porcello. Orioles got a run in the first and a walk, a steal, and a single. Davis driving home a run. Scope looks at a strike right down the middle, 0-1. So again, both of these pitchers have really come out and done a nice job of throwing strikes, Porcello and Norris. Here's a ground ball to short. Gonzalez gobbles it up. and one gone. Back to the studio we go now. Let's check in with Mickey York. We will indeed. Thanks, Mick. No doubt about that. Here is David Lowe now stepping in with one out. You've been to Montreal?
I have.
It's a nice city out here.
Beautiful city.
I have never been there. How about Porcello? 10 out of 10 in first pitch strikes.
I hope Montreal gets another baseball team sooner or later. That's how much I like Montreal.
So you're purely looking at it from a selfish standpoint.
Lobbying for Montreal to get another squad.
There's another ground ball for Porcello, and David Lowe is out, 2 outs. Another ground ball out, 2 of them in this inning. Got a double play ball in the second. Nelson Cruz will stand in. He grounded out in the first inning as well. Former Texas Ranger, spent the last 8 years in Texas. Ball 1 from Porcello. These are the career numbers for Nelson Cruz, who has now had 10 years in the big leagues. He spent a lot of years in the minors before he finally got a chance. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Had a lot of success playing for the Texas Rangers in right field, as did Ian Kinsler. They were teammates for a number of years.
The Orioles gave him a 1-year deal this past offseason. Here's the 2-1.
It's a good pitch right there. It's a curveball that he has perfected this year. 2-1. If you're Cruz, you're looking for a fastball, and Porcello pulls the string on him at 83 miles an hour.
Rick was saying how much that curveball has really helped keep hitters off balance. Here's the 2-2 offering. Ooh, that one bounced in front of the plate.
And some of Porcello's numbers and percentage of pitches that he throws. You can see in 2013 there were no more sliders. Threw lots of curveballs, lots of changeups, whereas the previous 4 years, 70% fastballs, some sliders and curves and changeups.
And another ground ball. This one hit to Don Kelly at third. His throw is perfect, and 3 ground ball outs here in the third for Porcello. for the Orioles, and it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us again tomorrow. The Tigers wrapping up this series with the Orioles. Our coverage begins at noon with Tigers Live. Tigers and O's tomorrow at noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Then the Tigers have an off day on Monday before they start a West Coast swing through Los Angeles and San Diego. What a day here at the ballpark today. Alex Gonzalez will lead things off for the Tigers. 7-8-9 facing Bud Norris. 3 out of 8 so far for Gonzalez, including a walk-off winner in that series against the Royals to start the year. The Tigers coming in today to perfect 3-0. First pitch is in for a strike. The Tigers' 3-0 start. It's the 5th time they've done that in the last 30 years. They've only done it 5 times. Most recently was 2012. They've done it again here under Brad Ausmus in 2014. The 1-1 to the right side, base hit. Gonzalez goes the other way. So he's off to a nice start with the bat. Tying run is on. And here is Don Kelly getting his first action in the regular season. This is what he did this spring. Tony had a couple of homers.
Monster spring. Hit over 300, drove in 10.
Kelly last year with the Tigers hit 6 home runs. Ball 1 outside. Well, certainly versatility is the name of his game. He played 6 different positions for the Tigers last year.
Can really handle the bat. Yeah, might see a hit and run. Brad Ausmus likes to use him in that fashion.
One ball, 1 strike on Don Kelly after a leadoff single here by Alex Gonzalez. Two and 1 the count.
Heavy dose of fastballs thrown by Bud Norris today, and it's a good fastball, 93 with some late life on it. And there's a breakdown. Better than 70% fastballs thrown so far by Norris.
Now he's fallen behind 3-1. Rajai Davis waiting on deck.
And here's the kind of counts that hitters just love to get themselves into. 3-1, predictable fastball count. You know it's going to be a fastball. It's going to be about 92, 93 miles an hour. You've already seen a couple of those, so the timing should be no issue.
Runner goes. Slap foul back into the seats.
And Brad Ausmus decided to put the hit and run on the 3-1 count with Gonzalez and Don Kelly.
Ausmus has watched his team put together a couple of walk-off wins against the Royals, and the Big Bats came out yesterday scoring 10 runs. He knows he's got a pretty good team on his hands this year. They try and go to 4-0 with a victory here today against the Orioles.
If you're Gonzalez here and they've given you the steal sign, you need to make sure you get a good jump just in case Kelly strikes out. And you don't want to give Wieters an opportunity to throw you out.
Here's a bouncing ball, base hit into left. He found that space on the left side of the infield, and the Tigers now have runners at first and second.
And Kelly worked the count in his favor to 3-2, stayed back long enough, didn't hit the ball hard, but was able to find a hole on the left side of the infield with Hardy going over to cover the bag, with Gonzalez taking off from first base.
And the Tigers in business now. Here's Rajai Davis. Homered in the ball game yesterday. First of the year.
corner infielders for Baltimore looking for the sac bunt.
He showed bunt, pulled it back. Like he was bunting for a base hit there.
There are some guys that have speed like Davis does that usually are more comfortable bunting for a base hit versus the more conventional scoring around and sacrificing and giving yourself up.
No sign there. He swings away and fouls it back.
You would think Davis would sac bunt more, but last year in that Toronto offense, he only had one sacrifice bunt.
That's it.
Just one.
Leadoff singles by Gonzalez and Kelly. Rajai signed to a 2-year deal in the offseason by the Tigers. Outside, and when he was signed initially, the thought was he would platoon with Andy Dirks, who is still recovering from back surgery. But his role now has expanded more with Dirks on the shelf. Really, the Tigers brought him in because of his ability to hit left-handed pitching
and steal a base.
Yeah, that too. Really good at that. Fouled back out of play.
And every now and then, if you throw him a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone, as he got yesterday, he can hit it out of the yard.
That was after the rain delay, cutting through the cold air here at Comerica Park yesterday. Davis last year stole 42 bases. Only Jacoby Ellsbury stole more than Rajai last year in the American League. And again the 2-2. That's in the air toward left, shallow left field. David Lowe coming under it. That'll be the first out of the inning, and the runners have to hold. One out. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. So we'll swing it now to the top of the order, where Ian Kinsler's gotten off to a nice start this year offensively. Flied out to right field in the first inning of this one. Well, it's only been a little over 3 games, Rod, but I think what we expected from Ian Kinsler is exactly what folks said we would get out of Ian Kinsler. Some power, ability to drive in runs, could run and play some defense.
Well, that was the scouting report on him. The one area that they want to see more of, and that's the Tigers. They know what he can do offensively with the bat, but they'd like to see him get back to his aggressive style of base running that he had the last number of years when he was in Texas.
Missed it outside, 1-1. Kinsler at one time was a 30-30 guy. Norris with the 1-1 pitch. That'll go foul down the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, this was the deal that brought Kinsler over to Detroit, sent Prince Fielder over to the Texas Rangers. And their numbers from last year. Certainly 2 very different players providing very different things. But Kinsler so far has been a very nice fit for this Tigers ball club. Here's the 1-2. Line drive to left, base hit. Gonzalez coming to third. They're going to stop him there as Lowe fires it back in. The Tigers have loaded the bases. 3 hits here in the third.
And Kinsler continues to get base hits for his new club. Now you can see Dave Clark coming to your screen there with both arms going up to stop Avila, and well before Avila got to the bag.
So now here's Torrey Hunter. Torrey has 10 grand slams in his career, 312 with the bases loaded. Chance now to give his ball club the lead. The Tigers have 4 hits on the board. And he takes ball 1 inside. 17 hits for the ball club yesterday, and Torrey had a big day, went 3 for 4. Was actually on base 4 times in yesterday's contest. A little bit outside, 2 balls, no strikes, and no room at the end with the bases loaded. And Torrey's got to be licking his chops right now. With the bags full and a 2-0 count.
First couple of innings, Bud Norris was able to stay out of predictable fastball counts. He has not been that fortunate here in the third.
Driven down the left field line. That ball is a fair ball off the wall. Gonzalez scores. Kelly scores. Here comes Kinsler. He will score. It's a bases clearing double for Torrey Hunter.
Put himself in a bad situation. He was forced into throwing a four-seam fastball, trying to throw it by Torrey Hunter at 92 miles an hour. Look at Torrey clear the hips out of the way, which gives him maximum bat speed, and hit a dart down in that left field corner.
That thing was an absolute rocket right off the fence in left field, and it clears the bases. The Tigers have a 3-1 lead. And Hunter continues to swing the hot bat. Cabrera skies one in the air to shallow right field. Cruising over there is Nelson Cruz. He'll glove it. Hunter tagging. And he'll make it to third.
Hey, one more look at the knock by Torrey Hunter. Kinsler all the way around from first.
Three RBIs for Hunter, 4 for the year. And now with 2 outs, we'll see if the Tigers come up with a 2-out hit from Victor Martinez. He bounced out his first time up. Norris was cruising along until he gave up back-to-back hits here in the third, and the Tigers have capitalized. Ball 1 high. Norris was actually the Astros opening day starter in 2013. He has been slotted into the 5th spot in the Orioles rotation. Really, his last start wasn't until March 25th in Florida, so it's been a while since he's been out there, and there's a strike. There is his ratio. Two and one. Three runs, 5 hits for Detroit, a run on 3 hits for the Orioles. Victor ahead in the count. The 2-1 pitch is fouled back out of play. Run the count even now, 2-2. Martinez last year was the second toughest hitter in the American League to strike out. The third toughest was Ian Kinsler. He is in the Tigers lineup. And the 2-2. 3-2 on Victor Martinez. Jackson waiting on deck. Hunter, the big blow in this inning. The bases clearing double to score 3. That'll get fouled back out of play. Norris this spring had a really good ERA, 2.65 in the 5 starts he made. Throwing 17 innings this spring, striking out 15, earning a spot in the Orioles rotation. Buck Showalter. Foul tipped in and out of the glove of Matt Wieters. Well, Martinez still alive. Should Victor reach? Austin Jackson lurking. Well, this really is a nice crowd today.
It's a beautiful day. A little cool, but it's some sunshine out there.
Breezy as well. And again, fouled back out of play, and the battle continues.
Eight pitches already seen in this at bat by Martinez, and he's seen just about everything. And that Norris features, with the exception of the changeup. Norris will throw quite a few changeups to left-handers. Doesn't throw many changeups to right-handed batters.
Norris went first pitch strikes on first 8 batters, but has really struggled of late. That ball's hit sharply. Diving stop by Hardy. Man, oh man, what a play and a pick at first base.
Saved a run.
However, the Tigers do some damage regardless. Torrey Hunter clears the bases. 3 runs in. Dave Clark waving him home. Tigers lead 3-1. Fourth inning. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag TigersFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown on an upcoming game broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T, there's the hashtag Tigers fan photo. Send it over, and you might find yourself on a future Tigers broadcast.
Someone's celebrating a birthday.
Apparently so.
Throwing you a kiss, Mario.
Yes, she is. Porcello back to work. Chris Davis now will stand in. Rick has the lead for the first time this afternoon.
Davis, good low ball hitter. And if you're Porcello, forcing fastballs up, breaking balls down, but you got to bounce them. Don't leave them high enough for Davis to do any damage.
Toward left field, but it's going to go foul. Did a lot of damage last year, didn't he?
Special company here. 50 homer, 40 double seasons, only been done 3 times in Major League history.
Check swing low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
33 home runs for Davis 2 years ago. And Buck Showalter found a spot for him every day last year, and Davis showed his skipper what he could do, given his first opportunity to play every day. Davis was one of those guys when he was with the Texas Rangers, he couldn't get consistent reps because he struck out a lot, and they only gave him reps against right-handed pitching. For power hitters, it's tough to get your swing down. He found that good groove last year.
The 3-1 pitch is lined the other way, right at Rajay Davis, who flags it down.
That's what he has really started to do well, and that's use the entire field, Chris Davis.
Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher versus batter matchup. Rick Porcello has the Bernstein advantage today over Adam Jones. Jones, including today's 0 for 1, is now 3 for 19 career against Rick Porcello. So Rick has had the advantage on Jones, who lined out to second base his first time up. Bender drops in for a strike.
Nice little lollipop curveball there thrown by Porcello. A little get me over pitch.
Ball inside, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball to short. Alex Gonzalez gobbles this one up. 2 up, 2 down. A whole host of ground balls already in this game for Rick. To no one's surprise. Here's Nick Markakis. Where do you got the Orioles this year in the East? I know Tampa's going to be good. Boston, of course, will be there.
I don't really think they have enough starting pitching right now to win their division. They've got a good offensive team, but they do need some help with the pitching staff. They've got a couple of really young kids in the minor leagues that aren't here yet that are pretty good, but they do need someone in that staff to really take over and lead the remainder of the staff.
That is grounded foul. I think we saw Kevin Gausman last year.
He's good.
Yeah, really good.
Good arm.
Brought in Ubaldo Jimenez. They signed Bud Norris, or actually traded for Bud Norris at the deadline last year.
Very few pitchers were better than Ubaldo Jimenez second half of the year last year. Cleveland does not get to the playoffs without him.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now on Markakis.
Yeah, throw it right down the middle. And let Markakis hit it as far as he can to center field so Jackson can run it down.
On the outside corner, Markakis was turned and headed to first. Gary Cedarstrom says, come on back. Full count. Where was it? And the 3-2. It's ball 4. Two out base on balls. Markakis on for the second time in this game. And that will be the second walk of the game for Rick. Here's J.J. Hardy. Boy, has he turned into one of the better players at his position in this game. Hardy had a single back in the second. Gold Glover, two-time All-Star. Started the All-Star game last year for the first time in his career.
Started his career in Milwaukee and was traded to the Minnesota Twins. He spent one miserable year there. They gave up on him, and the Baltimore Orioles picked him up, and he's been outstanding for Baltimore.
Didn't he have like a wrist injury when he was with Minnesota?
He had a couple different issues, which led to a poor season there in Minnesota. They're still trying to find a shortstop in Minnesota.
Tigers have the lead 3-1 on the bases clearing double by Torrey Hunter. Hardy spending 5 years of his career with the Milwaukee Brewers. Hit 25 home runs last season. Knocked in 76. Low and away. 2-1. Make it 2-2 on J.J. Hardy.
I don't know if that was a curveball or a changeup thrown there by Porcello. Good pitch, whatever it was. Had Hardy fooled and off balance.
And a tip into the glove for strike three, and that'll do it for the Orioles. No runs, a walk. First strikeout of the game for Rick. Orioles 3-1 as Detroit tries to get to 4-0 on the brand new season. We are happy you are here with us. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen from Comerica Park, Mark Isofano is our producer, Brian Moss directing the show today, and Austin Jackson will be leading things off. How about this list, Rod? We saw this yesterday, and this is, I don't want to say shocking, but somewhat surprising.
Is that Tigers history?
It's history.
Wow.
First 4 seasons, only Barney McCoskey has had more hits in his first 4 years than Austin Jackson had. Now, anytime you're above a list that has Lou Blue on it.
Sweet Lou Blue.
Is that his nickname?
I don't know.
It
sounded good, though.
It sure did. There's a strike on Mr. Jackson. He'll be followed by Avila, then Gonzalez. Austin had a single in his first at bat. Norris missing outside, 1-1. Jackson now has hit safely in all 4 games to start this year. Right back up the middle, and he just continues to swing the bat.
Locked in with 2 strikes. Norris tried to sneak a 92-mile-per-hour fastball by Jackson, and Jackson wasn't having any of that. Gets the foot up, gets it down, and then once that foot gets down, this is where Jackson gets the really good bat speed. Even though we've slowed it down, it's that front foot getting down in that firm position, which allows Jackson to do the damage he's been doing all of spring training in the first few games of this year.
Well, his consistency throughout spring camp was remarkable, but he has continued to do that here in the regular season. Jackson hit .429 in spring camp.
He was on the move a couple of times the first time he was on base today, but Avila kept swinging and fouling off those pitches.
Avila eventually bounced into a double play. Alex batting with the leadoff man on here. The Tigers have put the first man on in each of the last 2 frames. Quick throw and a quick tag, but not in time. Tried to hold up, unable to do it. 1-1 on Avila. Norris really didn't get much run support last year. In 23 of his 30 starts, he got 3 runs or fewer.
Hard to win like that.
And we've seen him pitch, Rod. He seems to have decent stuff, but the numbers, it's been pretty much around 500. Ball high and away, and the count goes 2-1. He's got only 1 run in this ball game here today.
Surprising that he did not get much run support with Baltimore. We knew the Houston Astros offense would be challenged when we saw them in spring training before the 2013 season. But Baltimore has a good offensive squad.
That was a little bit closer at first base. Well, with the Astros, his ERA was 3.93, and that was good enough for the Orioles to want to trade for him at the deadline last July. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup there thrown by Norris. 2-1. Hitters always looking for the fastball. You give them that real good arm speed and you sell it. And that's when you see hitters that are out in front swinging over the top of the changeup.
Tigers have 3 runs, 6 hits. Orioles a run on 3 hits. Missed it away, and the count fills now 3-2. Waiting on deck is Gonzalez. See if Jackson is on the move here. Runner goes. And it's strike 3. Throw down to second. Tag not in time. Stolen base.
Outstanding jump. And by Austin Jackson. Avila does not agree with the strike call there of Gary Cederstrom, but a real good jump by Austin Jackson to steal his first bag of the year. Wieters threw a ball right on the bag.
Boy, was that a really good throw.
Quick release.
We mentioned Wieters last year threw out 33%. So now a chance to knock in another. Here's Gonzalez. And that is in for a strike. 0-1.
They've got some good arms in their outfield. And Loken throwing left field. Jones had quite a few assists from the center field position last year. And Nelson Cruz, one of the better throwing right arms for a right fielder in all of baseball. Jones surprisingly double-digit in assists last year from the center field position. You don't usually see center fielders getting that many assists.
What do you have, 11?
Yes.
Here's the 0-1. What makes it more difficult for center fielders?
Well, you're throwing the ball over the mound, and a lot of times center fielders don't have enough arm strength to get the ball over the mound, which gives you a real nice hop into the catcher. Usually guys, when they throw the ball toward home plate, it's on the outfield side of that crown of the rubber there, the dirt, and you don't get the kind of bounce that you would like to get.
1-2 on Gonzalez. Alex got the party started back in the third with a leadoff single, the inning in which the Tigers scored 3. Just a little bit low and off the plate, and you see Norris there with a little body language wanting that call, but didn't get it.
It's pretty close.
Ooh. Close enough to call strike 3, but Gary Cederstrom did not. That's fouled off. So Gonzalez in spring camp was with the Orioles, and Lombardozzi in spring camp was with the Tigers. Those two were traded for each other. And Gonzalez has already made his presence felt both defensively and with the stick early on this season. Right now Gonzalez has gotten more of the playing time at short. Brad Austin was saying before the game today, Romine will play. He got a chance to start yesterday. Little cue shot hit back towards second. Lombardozzi gobbles it up. Advance the runner to third. 2 gone. That'll bring up Don Kelly. Tigers by and large have played some pretty good defense so far in this homestand. Gonzalez making a nice play. Here is Kelly, who is 1 for 1. He singled, scored a run back in the third. And a ball low. Anybody pick Torrey Hunter as the player of the game today?
Not today.
He's the leader right now. Here's the 1-0. Kelly takes ball 2 inside.
Keating took.
Wait a minute. Keating took
Torrey Hunter today.
Oh boy, he could have back-to-back winners. Norris steps off. Kelly will play just about anywhere on the field, and Ausmus will use him in such a manner this year. Can play the outfield positions, first base, third base today. In extreme emergencies, he can even catch. That would have to be an extreme emergency. Norris had a really good rhythm in the first couple of innings in this game, but he seemingly has lost that rhythm. Here's the 2-1. Fouled off, 2-2.
Yeah, first couple of innings pitched in no stress whatsoever. First pitch strikes on just about every Tiger that went to the plate in the first 2 innings, getting ahead and mixing his pitches up, but he is simply falling behind the several hitters the last inning and a half.
Let's go Tigers!
Okay.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Was she talking to you?
I guess.
Now Norris ready with the 3-2 to Don Kelly. And it's fouled off right off his foot at home plate. Kelly had a really good spring. Getting his first start here today. Tigers had an unplanned day off with the final game of that Royals series rained out. An off day mixed in here the first week, an off day, couple of off days next week actually. That is popped up left side of the infield for J.J. Hardy, and that is that for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Let's go to the 5th. Is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit, and by AT&T Rethink Possible. Beautiful day here at the ballpark. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, we are glad to have you with us. And the Tigers offense, Rod, right now leading it by a score of 3-1. And really, they have shown that they've got a little bit of depth in that lineup, at least early on this year. The bottom of the lineup kind of set up Torrey Hunter.
Absolutely. And you start talking about Kinsler at the top. He's been getting on the base. Pass with regularity. Torrey Hunter stepped up the last couple of days, but you brought up a great point. The bottom of that order has been getting on too.
Yeah, they really have been. A couple of singles to the bottom of that bottom third of the Tigers lineup, and eventually the 3-run double by Torrey Hunter. The difference in this contest. And Rick Porcello will go back to work now in the 5th inning. Bunted foul off the bat of Matt Wieters. Well, Porcello has 7 ground ball outs through 4 innings of work here today. Wieters will foul it back. Now with 2 strikes, Don Kelly, who was playing in short right field, will run over back to his third base position. First 2 pitches against Wieters, he was playing in short right.
And the reason why he moves him back over is no longer does he feel like Wieters will try to shoot the ball the other way, something that they have as far as their stats are concerned. With 2 strikes, Wieters will still try to go the other way instead of pulling the ball as he does early in the count.
Here's the 1-2. Pulled foul. So that's one thing, Rod, we have noticed more of this year. Positioning defensively. The Tigers have been more aggressive in doing that.
Yeah, Matt Martin, who is the new defensive specialist, hired by Brad Ausmus. He and Omar Vizquel are responsible for the movement of the defense.
Chopper to the shortstop. Gonzalez scooting to his right. Nice play. 1 out.
Porcello's been tremendous. His first start of the year. Already thrown 7 ground balls in the contest. He's keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate. He's mixing in all 3 of his pitches, whether it be the fastball, the curveball, or the changeup. And one thing you try to do as a hitter when you're going up against Porcello, you know he throws lots of ground balls. You try to see the ball up. But the Baltimore Orioles have had no success today so far against Porcello.
When you look at Rick's numbers, last year he threw 177 innings. And do you think he gets to 200 this year?
I think he can take that next step.
The most he has thrown in a single season was 182 a couple of years ago. But you would seem to think that this year may be the year where he gets to that 200 plateau.
His strikeouts per 9 innings have gone up quite a bit since first coming to the big leagues. That changeup that he just threw right there to Lombardozzi has really become a good pitch for him.
Lombardozzi is 0 for 1, fly ball. Goes back in the second. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball right side. Straight to Cabrera. It'll be a 3 unassisted. And the ground balls just keep on coming. Here's Jonathan Scope. Oh for 1 for Scope, who was rated as the 5th best prospect in the Orioles system. Told you yesterday Manny Machado is out after offseason knee surgery. Their terrific young third baseman. They're hopeful of having him back late April, early May. That's a lot of production, though, out of their lineup. Here's the 0-1. Another big swing by Scope. 0-2.
If you're Porcello, you can go a couple of different ways against the young Scope right here. You can elevate the fastball above the letters to get a swing and miss, or you can simply go right back downstairs with another good curveball.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. So 1-2-3 inning for Rick Porcello, his second strikeout. Tigers baseball today is presented by Bell Tire.
Game summary. The Baltimore Orioles got on the board first. Chris Davis slices a single down left field with plated David Lowe, who had walked to lead off the game. And then the Tigers finally got to Bud Norris in the third inning. A couple of runners, 3 runners to be exact aboard. Torrey Hunter got a 2-0 fastball and absolutely drilled it down the left field corner. And that's where we sit, scored 3-1. Tigers lead. And the Tigers had 6 hits, only 3 for the Orioles today. It looked like the Baltimore offense was going to perk up after that first inning, but Rick Porcello's been very good. There was a big swing there by Rajai Davis. Davis, then Kinsler, and then Hunter. Line to left field, base hit. Back-to-back breaking balls thrown by Norris, the second of which got too much plate. And a solid single to left field by Rajai Davis. So the bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup with 3 hits. Gonzalez and Kelly also have hits and runs scored. Yeah, we're probably going to get our first opportunity to watch one of the tools that Rajai Davis has, and that's the ability to steal second base and third base if he wants to. He gets a really good jump, and when he takes that first step, he's running full speed. Davis has stolen over 40 bases 4 times in his career. And when you go back to since 2009, only Michael Bourne has stolen more than Rajai. And Davis really hasn't been an everyday performer. No, that's a great point. Davis stole 45 last year in 108 games. If you're Davis here as well, even though you know you want to steal the base, Baltimore knows as well. And Buck Showalter might pitch out on the first or second pitch here. Runner goes. Here comes the throw from Wieters. Safe. Wieters has made a couple of really good throws down to second base, but really had no shot at throwing out Davis. It's a beautiful thing when you're on first base and everybody in the ballpark knows you're going to steal a base, and you take off and you're able to steal that base. You got to look there at the really good first step that Rajai Davis takes. Look how he has to slide. He's moving so fast he has to turn his body sideways to make sure he doesn't slide over the bag. Now Kinsler a chance to drive in a run. That's the second stolen base of the day for the Tigers. Alex Sanchez, the last Tiger with 30 or more steals. That was back in the forgettable 2003 season. Ball inside. 2-0 the count. And Kinsler has a job to do here. And try to hit something through the right side of the infield. Past the second baseman, Lombardozzi, or the first baseman, Davis. If they happen to catch it, at least Davis will be able to get over to third base. Bouncing ball right side. And Lombardozzi throws him out. Advance the runner to third. Unselfish swing there by Ian Kinsler. He'll get a lot of high fives when he gets back to the dugout. Visibly trying to inside out something the other way, and he was successful doing so. And there are the high fives he spoke of. Here is Hunter. Torrey, the bases clearing double, scored 3 in the third. And he's batting up there now with the infield drawn in for Baltimore. Torrey Hunter was able to take advantage of these types of situations last year with Miguel Cabrera batting behind him. As a pitcher, you're going to have to go after Hunter. High drive deep into left field. That ball is up and that ball is gone. He's got 5 RBIs today. Not to mention a double to go with his homer. And the Tigers have extended the lead to 5-1. You know you're going to get something good to hit inning with Miguel Cabrera batting behind you, and Torrey Hunter just feast in that number 2 slot in the Tigers batting order.
So Torrey has really heated up the last 2 days.
He's got himself a couple of fastballs in identical spots thrown by Bud Norris, and a double his last time up. This time, big fly to left.
Second of the year for Torrey Hunter. The Tigers now lead by 4. All 5 driven in for Torrey Hunter. Action in the bullpen. Brian Manis warming up. Here is Cabrera. He's 0 for 2. And for Miggy, that qualifies as a lengthy slump. Ball 1 outside. 4-hit day yesterday for Miguel. Hey, there's the home run ball. Torrey says you're welcome. That's drilled toward the gap in left center field. That looks like trouble, and it is. All the way to the wall. Cabrera is on his way to second base, and he pulls in with a double. Tigers teeing off now on Norris. Cabrera's first hit of the afternoon. It's a 2-base hit. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Nine Tigers hits. Remember, they had 17 in the series opener yesterday. So they're about to go back-to-back days in which they've gone double digits in the hit column. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Victor had a hit taken away his last time up. Diving play by J.J. Hardy. The shortstop robbed him. Popped up. Don't know if it'll stay in play. Scope. Tough play. Couldn't get there. 0-2 now on Martinez. Leadoff single by Davis. He stole second base, advanced to third on the ground out, and scored with ease on the Torrey Hunter home run. Rick Porcello has done the rest for the Tigers. He has pitched an outstanding ball game through 5 innings. And he's done it in typical Porcello fashion, getting ground ball after ground ball. Here's the 0-2. Slap toward left field, slicing foul. Victor homered on opening day. He had a hit in each of the first 3 games. He's got Miggy at second right now with only 1 out. So this Orioles offense really didn't get going until the last inning in yesterday's ball game. Today they have just 3 hits. This was a team that was scoring runs at a high rate last year, but they've gotten off to a slow start with the bats this year. The 1-2. Another foul back out of play. So Norris now is starting to creep up toward 100. He's at 94 total pitches.
Victor just gives you a quality at bat just about every time he goes up there. And last time Morris was able to get him out, but he needed 9 pitches to do so.
You know, it seems like when Victor gets behind in the count 0-2, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat.
You throw him a real good pitcher's pitch down and away, and he's somehow able to get just a piece of it, hoping that that next offering is something that he can handle.
One and 2 on Martinez. We had 23,000 in the ballpark yesterday on a cold, rainy day. Today, much nicer and a good crowd. So now the count goes 2-2. There's Brian Mattis still warming up, the left-hander for the Orioles in their bullpen.
You don't usually see Mattis this early in contest. He's usually one of those guys that Buck Showalter likes to use real late, 7th, 8th inning guy.
That ball is in the air to right center field. Jones cruising over. And Cabrera holds, and they finally get Martinez after a lengthy battle. 2 gone. It's going to bring up Austin Jackson. Another good day for Austin. 2 more hits. And that's it for a strike. Jackson, 2 of the 9 Tigers hits in this contest. He also stole a base, his first of the year, back in the 4th inning. Now we get back out of play 0-2.
This Tigers team is kind of playing the way that many anticipated that it would play when they left spring training. They've already won a couple of 1-run contests. The offense exploded yesterday, but a couple of steals today, one by Davis, one by Jackson. An unselfish at bat by Ian Kinsler, moving Davis along. That's the kind of baseball this team's going to play all year.
Brad Ausmus was asked before the game. He said a lot of times teams will be very aggressive in spring training, but once the regular season starts, they're not nearly as aggressive. The Tigers just have continued that philosophy here in the regular season. That's ball high. 1-2 the count on Jackson.
Norris is closing in on 100 pitches here in the 5th inning.
He has actually hit the 100 mark. There's his breakdown, 67-33. The 1-2. 2-2 now as Jackson has evened up the count.
Tigers got in that Baltimore Orioles bullpen pretty good yesterday. And they're going to get in there again real early. This is probably Norris's last inning.
Jackson fouls it away. Got so many guys in this Tigers lineup that can give you a quality at bat. Guys that go up there and battle and do not give away at bats. We've seen Kinsler do it. We've obviously seen Victor do it. Cabrera does it all the time. Wearing down the opposing starting pitcher as to where they're at 100 pitches in the 5th inning. It's in the air to left, shallow, and caught by David Lowe to end the inning. Good inning, though, for Detroit. They get 2 more runs on 1 swing of the bat. Torrey does the honors. A 2-run shot. Shot to extend the lead. 9 Tigers hits in this game today. And by the way, tomorrow the Tigers take on the Orioles at 1:08. It's kids opening day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Miguel Cabrera back-to-back MVP poster. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com for more information. Another good day so far for the Detroiters as we go to the 6th inning. And the top of the lineup coming up, David Lowe will lead things off. Lowe, Nelson Cruz, Chris Davis. Walk, steal, and a run scored today for Lowe. And then Porcello got him to ground out in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 outside to David Lowe. Not going to hit too many home runs. He does have a little bit of power, though. In fact, his first major league home run came last year against the Tigers and against, lo and behold, Max Scherzer. He went on to win the Cy Young. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, we've seen Rick Porcello work all 3 of his pitches in the first 5 innings of the Baltimore Orioles, throwing several breaking balls and fastball counts. Good 2-seam fastballs, 4-seam fastballs up to 94 miles an hour.
Lowe has a couple of stolen bases in this series. 1 today, 1 yesterday. And a ground ball hit to the right side. Miguel takes it himself. 1 gone here in the 6th. Back to the studio we go. We check in with Mickey York. Thank you, Mickey. Here, the Tigers on top 5-1. We're in the 6th. Trying to make it 2 straight here against the O's. And a strike call. How much do you bank, Rod, of quick starts? You know, obviously Seattle's gotten off to a quick start. The Tigers have a chance to go to 4-0. In the grand scheme of things, how important is that?
I think it's really important. I mean, it's not the end all. But when you get off to a good start, you're as talented as the Tigers are. It's only going to help your momentum as you go further into the season.
Well, that 84 team you were on, they got off to a really good start.
35-5. It was special. Coming to the ballpark every single day, knowing that the other team on the other side wasn't really as good as your team.
Speaking of champions, the '84 team, there is the Champions Club. Our cameras are milling around looking for some spare scraps, some food.
It's a nice spot up there.
It is.
And you brought up the magic word, food. They got a lot of it up there, and there's some good groceries, too.
Here's Chris Davis. Davis is 1 for 2 with an RBI hit. You know, it's one thing to play this shift with Davis and Kelly moving out to short right field, but look how deep he is. It's almost out of our picture. Daring him to hit the ball to the left side of the infield. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
And hits by direction last year for Chris Davis. 39 times he went to left field.
Three and one on Davis. Make it 3-2.
Good changeup there. Davis looking to hit the ball in the seats because that's what big, strong, physical guys do in 3-1 counts. And Porcello has an exceptional changeup today.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Foul tip into the glove. And Rick has his third strikeout of the game. He's hanging out in the Champions Club today at Comerica Park. Hashtag Tigers fan photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. There's that hashtag. Tigers fan photo. Tweet your fan photo to us in an upcoming game broadcast. We could feature yours. Wallside Windows pitching change. Brian Mattis will take over now for the Orioles.
Yeah, the former starter had a pretty good year last year, especially against left-handers. Held left-handed hitters last year to a 168 batting average to Brian Mattis.
Mr. Mattis out of Grand Junction, Colorado, 27 years of age. Avila Gonzalez Kelly here in the 6th inning. Alex pounds the first one back out of play, 0-1. Tigers this afternoon, 5 runs on 9 hits. If you tuned in tardy, you missed the Torrey Hunter 3-run double in the 3rd and then the 2-run homer in the 5th. That has been all of the Tigers scoring. Just 1 run for the Orioles. They got it in the 1st inning. The 0-1. 0-2 now on Avila. It wasn't too long ago that Mattis was considered a bright prospect as a starter. Rod mentioned a starter turned reliever. He appeared in 65 out of the bullpen last year for Buck Showalter.
Didn't do all that well as a starter, but he has really found a home in the back end of that bullpen for the Baltimore Orioles, although pitching today here in the 6th.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball second base side. Lombardozzi will throw him out. 1 out. Want to tell you about the party that you can have in the comfort of a Comerica Park Suites in the month of April, just like these folks here. Look at them. They've got their smiles on. They're fired up. You can enjoy the April suite deal, which includes tickets, food, there's that magic word again, food, and parking, all for a special discount price. Call 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com. They're having fun. You can too. Gonzalez looks at a ball outside. Single ground out run scored for Alex Gonzalez. Foul tip. 1-1. Over 1,600 games in his career. Well, Gonzalez has been around a while. It'll bounce low. Gonzalez, with all the games he has played in the big leagues, has seen Miguel Cabrera as a youngster just coming to the big leagues, and now here in Detroit is one of the big time players in the game. When Miggy hit his first career home run, it was that walk-off home run back in 2003. Gonzalez was actually on base.
How about that?
Yeah, so we got a bird's eye view of Miggy's first big league homer. And you got a nice view of his 2000th major league hit yesterday.
Al Avila, the assistant general manager for the Tigers, responsible for signing both Alex Gonzalez and also Miguel Cabrera. Director of scouting for Latin America when he was with the Florida Marlins. Dave Dombrowski, of course, was the general manager of the Florida Marlins at that time.
Grounded foul, third base side. Brian Mattis taking over for Bud Norris, who threw 103 pitches in this game before departing. Donnie Kelly waiting on deck. Bouncing in. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And he walked in, ball 4. Good at bat there for Alex Gonzalez, on base for the second time in this game. 1 on, 1 out. If the Tigers go on to win this game, the Orioles would start the season 1-4. Which is a dangerous thing to do when you're playing in the American League East. Kelly a single and a pop-up in this game. Ball 1. Matt has played his college ball at the University of San Diego. Driven to right field and hit well. Cruz on the run. Can't get it up against the wall. Gonzalez coming to third base. They're going to wave him home. He'll come around to score. Don Kelly has a triple and an RBI. The Tigers lengthen their lead to 6-1.
And Don Kelly got a breaking ball that was right over the heart of the plate and hit it over the head of Cruz in right field. Gonzalez on first base got a good read on it. He knew the ball was going to get over his head, and therefore Dave Clark was able to send him home, and he scored without a play at home plate. And Kelly gets his first triple of the year. And a low five from Dave Clark.
So Brad Ausmus selecting today to give Don Kelly his first start. He's come through with a couple of hits. Here's Rajai Davis. Could not hold up 0-1. Infield in a couple of steps against Davis. Singled, stole a base, scored a run back in the 5th inning. That hit, by the way, gives the Tigers an even 10 in this ball game. In the air to center. Jones lining it up. Runner tagging. Here comes Kelly to the plate. Here comes the throw from Jones. It is high. Safe at home plate. And he aired that thing out. And Kelly just slid in ahead of the tag.
For you kids at home, that is the only situation where you can airmail the cutoff man and get away with it. There's nobody else on base, so nobody else can advance on the throw that's over the head of Davis, the first baseman. And we talked about Jones in center field, 11 assists from that center field position, so he's got some arm strength.
7-1 Detroit as they add 2 more runs here in the 6th. Bases are empty. Here is Ian Kinsler. Ball 1. Single for 3 for Kinsler. He singled and scored in the 3rd, but had a good at bat in his last AB. Advancing a runner, hitting a ball to the right side of the infield. Jones okay out there?
Yeah, you hope so.
That's into shallow center field, and it's going to drop base hit. Kinsler has his 2nd hit of the game. Look, Showalter seeing that this Tigers lineup this year is apparently just as potent as it has been in years past. Here's Torrey. Wow, look at his last 6 at bats. 5 for 6, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. That'll get your average up there real quick. And he was 0 for 9 to begin the year. A 5 RBI day today for Torrey, who really, Rod, just continues to amaze despite his age. I mean, we've all known that he keeps himself in great shape, but still swinging it.
Better hitter now than he was when he was younger. I mean, Torrey was a dead pull hitter when he was younger, hit for a little bit more power, but I like this new improved Torrey Hunter, the veteran right-handed batter.
He's more multi-dimensional these days.
Great teammate. Helps out all the other outfielders.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Torrey Hunter playing for another contract. He signed a 2-year deal at the beginning of last year. So he told me before the season this year he's not ready to shut it down. So it's like salary drive for Torrey Hunter all year long.
Well, I guess now he's not showing any signs of slowing. Checked it inside. 3-2 now on Hunter. Tigers getting back-to-back 2-run innings in the 5th and now the 6th to break it open a bit. 7-1. Miguel Cabrera waiting on deck. And the runner on the move, and that is ball 4. It's a walk. Keep the inning going, and it brings up Cabrera. It also brings Wieters out to the mound to try and figure out how to get him out.
Good luck.
Good luck indeed. Miguel had a double back in the 5th inning, 1 for 3 today. This has turned into a 25-pitch inning for Mattis, who takes over here in the 6th.
And Miguel Cabrera is hitting .750 against Mattis in his career. 3 for 4.
And he's behind. Strike 1. Well, when the Orioles come to town, Cabrera's eyes light up. He came in over .400 against the Orioles' career. Mattis just a small part of that. Outside. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Good change up there thrown by Mattis. And good circle change.
Indeed. Swing and a miss, and he got him that time. So the Tigers get a couple of runs to extend their lead to 7-1. Sandy Grossman was one of the first production members hired by David Hill and Ed Gorin in 1994 as they built Fox Sports from the ground up. He, along with Bob Stenner, Pat Summerall, and John Madden, formed our original lead NFL on Fox production team. Sandy Grossman passed away earlier this week at the age of 78. Well, it's one of those days at Comerica Park where you just love being out of the ballpark. Fans enjoying this one. Plenty of sunshine. 7-1 lead. And they are fired up about their Tigers, who are moving in on a 4-0 start if they could complete the victory here today. How about Rick Porcello, Rod?
In last 13 batters faced, no hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for Rick Porcello, making his first start of the 2014 campaign.
And Rick has retired 7 consecutive batters. Adam Jones will start things off here in the 7th inning. And Rick missing inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jones 0 for 2. Tigers on consecutive days have put up double digits in the hit column. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Adam Jones. And it's in there, a strike call. Jones last year led all American League outfielders in homers and RBIs. Taking outside, run it to 3-1. Jones for a while there was going out every single day, had a consecutive games played streak of 322. Snapped last year, hits it on the line to Rajai Davis.
Porcello's top fastball today, 93 miles an hour, 71 with a real slow curveball. And we thank Comcast and Xfinity for those readings on Porcello.
Rick gave up the run in the first inning, but nothing since. RBI hit by Chris Davis. He has slammed the door on the Orioles offense. Here's Nick Markakis. And this really is a good early season test when you go up against this Orioles offense, even without Manny Machado. Still plenty of weapons in the starting lineup.
Rick's been able to keep him off balance all afternoon with a mixture of good 2-seam fastballs, 4-seam fastballs, and 2 off-speed pitches, the curveball and the changeup.
Well, Smiley pitched out of the bullpen yesterday, and he was really good. Porcello has looked outstanding today. We concentrate on the top 3 guys in the rotation, but the other 2 guys could make this an extremely deep starting rotation. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike.
Leadership skills of Avila behind the dish are also invaluable. He was my pick today, too, by the way. He's done a marvelous job behind the plate.
I see you campaigning. But unfortunately, that award seems to be tied to offense.
Who said that? You making up rules now?
No, I'm not making up rules. I'm just talking about human nature. 3-2 the count. Ground ball right at Cabrera at first base. Sharply hit. Rick covers. 2 gone.
And here's a change-up grip. You can see the circle change. That's what they call it, and he's been fearless with that pitch today. Ever so slightly coming off the fingertips.
That's going to be it for Rick Porcello. Wall side windows pitching change. What a job by the Tigers right-hander today. 7th, 2 out, nobody on. Another marvelous pitching performance by Rick Porcello.
Yeah, Ricky P was on top of his game today. He has thrown 11 ground balls today to the Baltimore Orioles hitters. He has been one step ahead of them. Breaking balls and fastball counts, elevated the fastballs, good two-seamers. Rick Porcello was outstanding today for a guy that is taking the ball for the first time of the year.
Outstanding indeed. Porcello will depart this game, having retired the final 9 that he faced. 11 ground ball outs in this game. 6 2/3 innings, 3 punch outs, couple of walks, and only 3 hits. So with 2 outs, nobody on, here is J.J. Hardy. And it is in for a strike from right-hander Evan Reed.
Evan Reed was outstanding in spring training this year. As we get a look at his numbers last year in 16 games for the Tigers, 23 1/3 innings, 17 strikeouts, 8 walks. Power arm. Fastball will get up to 97, 98 miles an hour. And a pretty good slider.
Evan pitched on opening day and got some big outs late for the Tigers. Hardy 1 for 2. Off the end of the bat, foul.
Tigers have a young bullpen. They've got 3 rookies out there. Here, Reed, Kroll, and Pukonen.
Of course, they got the veteran, though, at the back end, and Joe Nathan.
Some stability.
Here's the 1-2. Had him lunging out in front, and he fouls it back out of play. Good crowd here today, 32,000 plus. 32041 your attendance on a sunny afternoon here. Temperature's been in the 40s all day, but it doesn't seem to matter with all the sunshine. Ground ball right back through the middle. Kinsler can't handle it cleanly, has no play. 2-out base runner now for the Orioles.
Looked like Kinsler is going to have a chance to make a real nice play here, backhanding it, then jumping and turning and throwing off the right foot, but the ball hit the heel of the glove.
They have not ruled that play yet. Here's Matt Wieters. And they now have ruled base hit. Lofted in the air to center field. Jackson cruising over. That's going to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Coming up, the 7th inning stretch brought to you by LaFontaine Automotive Group. Bat for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry 10, or Windows Phone 8. You'll get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and a whole lot more. Here's what you do. You text at BAT to 31826 or visit tigers.com if you would like more details. Still awake, or are we falling asleep here? No, he's awake. Enjoying the sunlight. Attaboy. We've got a new pitcher now for the Orioles. Evan Meek will check in.
Evan Meek pitched Thursday against the Boston Red Sox, 1 1/3 innings that evening. Gave up 1 hit, has 1 strikeout through 19 pitches that day.
Out of the Pirates organization. He was with Pirates 08, 09, 2010, and 11. Here's Victor Martinez leading it off in the bottom of the 7th, and he looks at a strike. Martinez, Jackson, Avila. It's been another big day for the Tigers offense. 7 runs on 11 hits here at the ballpark today. Ground ball first base side, gobbled up there by Davis. He'll tag the bag for the out. It's going to bring up Austin Jackson. So tomorrow it's going to be Verlander on the hill against Tillman. Final game of the opening homestand for the Detroit Tigers before they head out west.
Verlander in his major league career has done unbelievable work against the Baltimore Orioles. It will not be an easy afternoon for them tomorrow.
And if the score holds up here, the Tigers would have a chance to sweep this series. These are the numbers that you talked about. 8-1 career against the O's. Two more hits for Jackson, raising his average in the early going here to 467.
Is that good?
In baseball, it's awfully good. Here's the 1-1. Think we'll ever see a guy hit 400 again?
Hate to say never, but it'll be awfully difficult to do. But I'm sure at some point in time somebody will get there.
George Brett gave it a run in the early 80s, and the game has changed, I guess, over the years so much, because now guys are running guys out of the bullpen that are throwing, between 95 and 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it used to be a little easier when you would see that same pitcher for 8 innings, maybe 9 innings. But nowadays you got different guys trotting out from the 6th inning on, and just makes it that difficult to see 3 and 4 guys in any one day and keep that batting average above 100.
Out to right field, Cruz backing up right in front of the warning track.
Above 400, excuse me.
2 up, 2 down. Jackson now 2 for 4 this afternoon. Send up Alex Avila.
It's only been 4 games, but I really like the leadership of Wally Jr., the Tigers' new hitting coach, his assistant, and Darnell Coles. Guys look like they prepared well in spring training, and guys have really consistent approaches here. First 3 games of the year. Wally.
It has looked impressive.
Wally was a good hitter too.
Strike 1. For Avila today, a couple of ground balls and a strikeout, 0 for 3. Evan Meek getting an inning's worth of work here. Brian Mattis came on and pitched the 6th inning. And the starter, Bud Norris, lasted 5. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Avila.
Good cut fastball there thrown by Meek at 91 miles an hour, but had a lot of late life on it. Look at this ball run underneath the armpit of Avila.
That'll hurt. 2-2. Where'd it get him? Right below the knee. How long does it take before that pain goes away?
It never goes away.
So the rest of the day his leg's going to be barking.
Yes, it is, and tomorrow too.
Two and two on Alex Avila. Tigers today have out-hit the Orioles 11-4. Looked like Gary Cederstrom wanted to go up with the right hand there, but he did not. He flinched a bit. And that pitch just a touch off the plate. And the 3-2 rolled foul. So all of the Tigers offensive players have played with the exception of Brian Holiday to start the year. Kelly getting a start today. Holiday, Avila's backup. There's a swing and a tip into the glove for strike three in a 1-2-3 inning for Evan Meek. 7 in the books here at the ballpark.
Game and the leadership skills of Alex Avila today led Rick Porcello beautifully. Strikeouts to end the 4th inning. That was J.J. Hardy. Also strikeout of Scope to end the 5th inning. And he also got Chris Davis to end the 6th. So nice job done today by Alex Avila leading Rick Porcello.
And by the time the afternoon was over for Porcello, he put up some impressive numbers. The battery doing a terrific job here this afternoon against a very potent Orioles offense, which has gotten off to a slow start this year. Tigers will bring a 7-1 lead into the 8th inning now. Evan Reed goes back out there. Reed came on to get the final out of the 7th inning. Lombardozzi leads it off for the Orioles. Then Scope and then David Lowe. And the first pitch from Reed is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball inside. Tiger bullpen off to a pretty good start this year, despite a couple of runs they got against Jabba Chamberlain in the 9th inning of yesterday's game. Tigers bullpen early on here with an ERA of 2.7. That was coming in. 2 balls, 1 strike on Lombardozzi.
Yeah, bullpen has gotten the win in all 3 of the Tigers' first 3 games. And Porcello making a bid this afternoon to become the first starter to record a win in the 2014 season.
Toward left field, slicing away from Davis. He's going to run it down in foul territory. 1 out.
Not a lot that's going to go up in the outfield this year, and that will not be ran down by either Davis, Hunter, or Jackson. The trio has real good speed and outstanding instincts in the outfield.
Here's Jonathan Scope. He's 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Breaking ball in for strike 1. Scope in the series now 1 for 6. We'll get back into the seats. 0-2 on Scope. Made his major league debut last September from the minor leagues and homered in his first major league game. A little bit high, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Evan Reed has his first strikeout of the afternoon. 2 gone.
Evan Reed can get all the way up to 98 miles an hour with his fastball. And then he throws a breaking ball here at 80 miles an hour. That's an 18 mile per hour differential.
Reed started the year last year in the Marlins organization, then was acquired off the waiver wire by the Tigers. That was in early April, just about this time last year. Started out in the minor leagues with Detroit, then was eventually called up, made his big league debut with the Tigers in Texas last year.
He kind of fits the profile of pitchers that Dave Dombrowski likes. He's above 6'5". He throws real hard.
Well, and he's opened up some eyes because Brad Ausmus on a couple of occasions has said that he really has pitched well. He's a guy that could pitch late in games despite his lack of major league experience. Here's the 2-0. 2-1 the count on David Lowe. So while that Tiger bullpen is young, they still have some quality arms out there like Reed and Albuquerque and Kroll. We saw Kroll yesterday. They'll get back out of play. 2-2 on the former Kansas City Royal David Lowe. Hit .286 last year as a rookie for the Royals. Darren O'Day warming up in the Orioles pen. Reed, when he came up with the Tigers last year, pitched in 16 games. The ERA was a little bit over 4. And making an opening day roster at the big league level for the first time this year in his career. High fly ball, right field. Ball's hit pretty good. Torrey circling and can't handle it. Lowe's off to the races. He's on his way to third base. They're going to stop him there. That looked like trouble from the get-go.
It sure did, and you don't equate trouble in the outfield with Torrey Hunter, but he got turned around right away. And then by the time he was able to locate it, and the wind knocked it down, he had to reach for it and then wasn't able to make the play.
And that is a triple for David Lowe. 5th hit for the Orioles. Keeps it going for Nelson Cruz. Big swing there. 98 miles an hour that time from Evan Reed.
Power against power.
Cruz 0 for 3, couple of ground balls and a flyout. Those at bats versus Porcello. Drill to center field. Jackson has room. And that's it for the Orioles. No runs. They strand a 2-out triple. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Now we check in with Lindsay Hayes. She has a preview of what's coming up on Tigers Live. Lindsay?
Hi, guys. The Tigers super fans are excited because coming up on Tigers Live, we're going to talk to hot hitter, home run hunter. That's the name I'm quoting for Torrey Hunter today, as well as talking to manager Brad Osmus about Rick Porcello's first very strong start. But for now, we're going to give it back to you guys to get back to the action.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. The Tigers certainly have had a couple of big performers today, and as Lindsay said, Torrey Hunter, big day with 5 RBIs in this one. So we've got a new pitcher now for the Orioles. Darren O'Day will check in.
O'Day throws from down under. He has a fastball he will feature that's got pretty good sink on it, about 86 to 87 miles an hour. Also a slider. Pitched in 68 games last year for the Baltimore Orioles and had an outstanding ERA, just a shade above 2.
And O'Day will sling it from the side and throw a strike to Alex Gonzalez. Darren O'Day, born in Jacksonville, Florida, goes 6'4", 220. 30 years of age now. That's in the air toward left field, left center field. Jones under it. 1 out. We'll kind of previewed this a little bit earlier, but here's what's happening tomorrow. The upcoming pitching matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet, Tillman and Verlander.
Verlander, outstanding career numbers against the Baltimore Orioles. He has 8 wins and just 1 loss. His line on Monday against the Kansas City Royals. 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. Tillman, on the other hand, he went up against the world champion Boston Red Sox, lasted just 5 innings in his first outing of the year.
Here's Don Kelly. Kelly had an RBI triple in his last at bat, a single. He's also scored a run.
He's also been flawless in the field today.
That's right at the knees for his strike. 1-1.
First game action for Don Kelly in quite some time. He was hampered by a sore hamstring the last week of spring training, so he did not get any at bats.
Apparently that didn't matter all that much.
Nope.
Kelly shoots one toward third. Going to be a tough play, and it's out of the reach of Scope. Kelly is on his way to second, but he'll put on the brakes. And that is a 3-hit day for Don Kelly.
That ball had some English on it. And Scope thought he had a beat on it, but because of how the contact was made with the ball was spinning and it appeared to hit the dirt and just skid away from Scope, the third baseman. He hit this ball right off the label. And as soon as the ball hits the dirt, it just takes a right turn on Scope, their third baseman.
So put up another hit for the Tigers. That is their 12th as a team. Here's Rajai Davis. O'Day, each of the last 2 years, major duty out of the bullpen for Baltimore. 68 appearances last year, 69 the year before that, and his numbers have been very good. Here's the 0-1. Did you face many guys who threw like this when you played?
Not many. Not many over the years. There has been a handful, but you don't usually see right-handers drop down and throw from this angle. You see quite a few left-handers do it, but not many righties.
Foul back. Phil Koch tuning up in the Detroit bullpen.
A couple of relievers, old school relievers, made a living throwing from down under. Dan Quisenberry, Kent Colby. Gene Garber, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Gene Garber. Colby and Quisenberry, man, they were both extremely successful. Into shallow center field. Going to be a tough play if anybody gets there. They won't. They're all falling in now for Detroit. That's a bloop single for Rajai Davis, his second hit. Going to bring up the top of the order now, Ian Kinsler. Two-hit day going for Mr. Kinsler. A couple of singles. He has scored a run. So the Tigers now have 30 total hits in the first 2 games in this series. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 0-1 on Kinsler. O'Day began his big league career with the Angels. He's also pitched with the Mets and Texas. The 0-1. 0-2 now on Ian. Kinsler in his days with the Rangers made 3 All-Star teams. Did he check? Yes, he did. Kerwin Danley down there at first base said that he held up.
KD down at first base, all bundled up again today.
You blame him? Although it's getting near 50 degrees out there with a lot of sunshine. Swing and a miss. Boy, Kinsler just looked uncomfortable in that at bat.
Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Torrey Hunter back in the third inning got a 2-0 fastball from the starter Bud Norris, and buggy whipped it down in that left field corner off the 345 sign. Kinsler was on first base. He was able to come all the way around from first and score, and the Tigers haven't looked back since.
6 RBIs on the year now for Torrey, batting .333. Strike one. So Hunter was on base 4 times yesterday, 3 more times today.
He's going to make sure that Brad Ausmus thinks long and hard when he considers taking him out of that number 2 spot. Torrey has been the best number 2 hitter in the game the last 2 years. 1 year in Los Angeles, and then last year here for Detroit. So obviously he's very comfortable batting second.
Now, Ausmus did have him 6th, or make it 5th in the lineup against the lefty Vargas of the Royals. But boy, he brings a lot of value for that 2 spot. Nestled in between Kinsler and Cabrera. The 0-2. Off the plate, 1-2. Orioles will have the middle of their lineup when we get to the 9th. Davis, Jones, Markakis. 7-1 Detroit. We are in the 8th. Two and 2 on Hunter. O'Day following Meek, who followed Mattis. Bud Norris started for the Orioles, lasted 5 innings today. And the 2-2. Fouled away.
One thing the Orioles have not gotten the first week of the season out of their starters, they haven't gotten any length. And Chris Tillman, who will toe the rubber for them tomorrow, their opening day starter, only 5 innings in his outing. Yesterday it was Miguel Gonzalez here against Detroit, 3+ innings. And today Bud Norris just 5 innings. So their bullpen's been used quite a bit here in the first week of the season.
Torrey hammers another one foul, back out of play. There is Cabrera waiting on deck. He'll get another at bat if Hunter is able to keep it going here. And again the 2-2. Boy, Torrey's doing all he can to stay alive. It turned into a lengthy at bat here for Hunter. The next pitch will be number 8. Now Torrey given time at home plate. O'Day served as the closer in college, played at Florida and in the College World Series as well. Got under that one to straightaway center field for Adam Jones, and that is that for Detroit. So as we go to the 9th, Tigers have been in control all day long. Porcello has pitched extremely well today, and Torrey's carried the big bat. Hits Detroit, a run on 5 hits for the Baltimore Orioles.
Let's take a peek at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch, courtesy of Rick Porcello, who in his career throws about 2.5 ground balls to every fly ball. In that ground ball, he threw a lot of them today. Kelly, Gonzalez, Kinsler, Miggy, all real busy in the infield today, all fielding ground balls flawlessly. Porcello, for the first time out today, was simply outstanding.
Yeah, it looked like he was well into the season with as sharp as he was today. And now Phil Koch will take over for Detroit.
11 games for Koch in spring training, 11 innings, 3.18 ERA. Got off to a sluggish start in spring training, but the last 3 or 4 appearances for Phil Koch in spring training were really good. Tigers will lean heavily on Phil Koch this year to be really good out of their bullpen against mostly left-handers, and as he gets the left-handers out, he will start to get some right-handed work too.
So the first man he will face, Chris Davis. And it's rolled foul, 0-1. Davis, Jones, and Markakis here in the 9th inning for the Orioles. RBI single way back in the first inning for Davis represents the only run that Baltimore has scored in this game. And the 0-1. Driven on a line. He beat the shift. It's into right field, base hit.
Good hitter. I mean, 53 home runs last year for Davis, 42 doubles. One of 3 players in the history of the game to have 50 or more home runs, 40 or more doubles in a season. Albert Bell and Babe Ruth are the other 2.
Well, Davis continues to hit well against Koch. And now the leadoff man on here is Adam Jones stands in. 0 for 3 for Jones. Ball 1.
If you're Miggy down at first, you could play behind Chris Davis. And Miggy is now moving behind Chris Davis. He's gotten those orders from Omar Vizquel in the dugout.
Jones 1 for 6 career against Koch. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Phil needs a good inning here, and to boost his confidence. The Tigers have a 6-1 spread here in the 9th inning, but you really have to be efficient here if you're Phil Koch. You don't want to run into a situation as Java Chamberlain did yesterday when the Tigers had a huge spread and just looked like Java was trying to get some work in.
Big rip there by Jones, fouled it off of Avila apparently. Two and one on Adam Jones.
Snuck up under the mask.
Yes, it did. Koch ready with the 2-1 pitch. Make it 2-2 now on Jones. They've held him in check for the most part of the series. 0 for 6. Jones has had 1 walk. Waiting on deck, Nick Markakis, another left-handed batter. Koch gave up the single to the lefty Davis. And the 2-2. Drill toward right field. That ball is going to get down, split the gap, and go to the wall. This might get a run in. Davis rumbling toward third. They're going to send him home. He will come around to score. And Adam Jones has a triple and an RBI, 7-2.
Adam Jones got a changeup that was down, basically took it off the dirt, sliced the ball in between Jackson and Torrey Hunter in right center field, and with his speed, able to get over to third base without a play.
So Jeff Jones comes out. A single and a triple greeting Phil Koch here in the 9th inning, and as a result, the Tigers get the bullpen working again. That is Al Albuquerque. That's the first run for the Orioles since a run in the first inning. We'll bring up Markakis.
Orioles did the same thing yesterday, and trailing by quite a few runs until the 9th inning. They put together some of their best at bats.
Yeah, they got 2 in the first inning, and then came up with 2 in the 9th. Nothing in between. Now Markakis. Ball 1 to Markakis. Single and a walk in this game for the Orioles right fielder. Bouncing ball back up the middle. They'll give up the run here, the Tigers will, and out at first base. Markakis gone 6-3, gets an RBI, and that makes it a 7-3 game. We'll bring up J.J. Hardy. So Koch is able to reset now, getting that ground ball out. Bases are empty. Hardy 2 singles today. 0 for 3 career against Koch. Ball 1. Two and 0 the count. Phil last year pitched in 49 games for the Tigers. He had that big postseason in 2012, had an ERA of under 1. A couple of big saves in the postseason for the Tigers, taking over the closer's role. That's low and away now, 3-0. And a strike on the outer edge. 3-1 on J.J. Hardy. And he walked him. Fans getting a little bit restless now. That is the third batter to reach here in the ninth inning, and Brad Ausmus's coming out. He's going to take Hoke out of the game. So Phil will face only 4 batters. And with the lead now at 4, 7-3 in the ninth inning, Al Albuquerque will come in. Pitching change here at the ballpark. We'll be back. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, and part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, the official window company of Fox Sports Detroit. Well, the Tigers trying to put the finishing touches on this one. They still need to get 2 outs here. It's 7-3 in favor of Detroit. The Orioles have a man on and a man out, and here is Al Albuquerque taking over.
And a couple of outings this year, and it turned in by Albuquerque. No earned runs given up in the 2 games that he's been out there.
Matt Wieters the batter, and he looks at a strike, 0-1. Only seen Albuquerque once. He's 1 for 1 against him. Wieters has put the ball on the ground twice in this game. He's bounced into a double play. That was against Porcello. Good stop there by Avila. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just in case he is needed, Joe Nathan heating up. Big swing there by Wieters.
Good slide piece there by Albuquerque. That's his signature pitch. He throws it at a couple different speeds. That's a hanging breaking ball there, but he got away with it.
Fouled off.
See if Albuquerque comes back with another fastball here. Nope, they're going to go with the slider.
Popped up. Left side, shallow left field. Tough play. And it's going to drop between Gonzalez and Kelly. Davis could not get there. It's a bloop single for Matt Waiters. And the Orioles making this one extremely interesting.
And Kelly was having a difficult time with the pop-up as it went up, and you could tell by the way that he was running it was going to be a difficult play for him. Gonzalez at the last minute probably called Kelly off. That's why Kelly got down, and Gonzalez attempted to make the catch, but he wasn't there.
First and second now with one out. Here is Steve Lombardozzi.
Brad gonna go to his closer right here.
Wow, he is indeed. Albuquerque faces one batter, and Brad Ausmus not taking any chances at all here. He wants to nail this one down. So the closer, who was not expected to come into this game in the ninth, will. Albuquerque's out of there. And Joe Nathan comes in, and we again will step aside. They're trying to hold on now with 2 on and 1 out. Joe Nathan, the closer, comes out of the bullpen.
One blown save already this year for Nathan. He also has a win. He got that win on opening day, but struggled a little bit the next time he came out. Joe Nathan with a ton of saves last year and a ton of saves in his big league career. Will stabilize the back end of that bullpen in 2014 for Detroit.
The only out recorded in this inning was the RBI ground out by Nick Markakis. Steve Lombardozzi will stand in. First meeting ever between these two. Fouled back out of play. The inning started with a single by Davis, a triple by Jones scored him to make it 7-2. Then the Markakis ground out scored Jones. They made it 7-3. A walk signaled the end for Phil Koch. Albuquerque came on, gave up a bloop single to left, and he's out of the game. Oh, 0-1 on Steve Lombardozzi. To right field on a line, chasing Hunter back, and it's a leaping. No, it's over his head up against the wall. Holding at third is Hardy, waiting to see if that ball was going to be caught. It's up against the wall for a base hit, and they are loaded up.
Hardy's upset with himself. He feels like he probably should have scored on that ball, and he should have.
So we'll get a pinch hitter.
And Torrey playing shallow. It's a breaking ball hit over the head of Torrey. He bounced it off the wall. And J.J. Hardy, who was on second base, kind of held up, thought the ball was caught, therefore couldn't score. Tigers caught a little bit of a break there.
That they did. Now Clevenger is going to pinch hit for Jonathan Schoop. First meeting as well between these two. Tying run at the plate. And that's pulled down the right field line. That is a fair ball up against the wall. Into the seats, actually over the wall. 2 runs are in, and they will stop Lombardozzi at third base. And look at this. It is now a 7-5 ball game with the tying runs in scoring position. And what was a comfortable 7-1 lead is now 7-5. Pinch hit 2-bagger by Clevenger.
Well, that's what they teach you to do when you come off the bench as a pinch hitter. You swing at the first strike you get, cut fastball down and in to Clevenger, able to go down and get it and keep it inside of that foul line down in the right field corner.
Ryan Flaherty will come on a pinch run for Clevenger. And the Tigers really have to work for this one. Now here is David Lowe, the 8th man to bat in the inning. That is in for a strike. 0-1. All of a sudden the Orioles now have 10 hits. Lowe has a triple. He is 1 for 3. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Koch, Albuquerque, and Nathan here in the 9th inning. Tying runs aboard. Lombardozzi and Flaherty, the pinch runner. And it's shot towards short. Nice play by Gonzalez. His throw is off target, and a run will score.
The wheels have come off here on the bottom half of the, the top half of the 9th inning. Gonzalez, after making a real nice play, if he comes up and goes to first base, he can get Low. Even though Low has some speed, but once he took a look at the base runner at second base and then came up to fire, he was caught off guard with the speed of Low, and they couldn't get anybody out. If he comes up right now and fires the ball to first base, he's got himself an out.
He checked third, he checked second, and then his throw is off target at first, and now it's 7-6, a 5-run inning. And the big bat's coming up for the Orioles. 9th man to bat in the inning, so they will bat around here in the 9th inning. Nelson Cruz not only has the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first base. And in his career against Nathan, he's 3 for 6. They got 1 run in the first inning and nothing since the 5-run 9th here. There's a strike called on Nelson Cruz. Outs have been extremely difficult to come by in this inning. In fact, the only out the Tigers have recorded produced a run. Nathan, a deep breath. Swing and a miss. 0-2. They're ruling that last play an E6, but they will give Lowe an RBI.
And good location there with the slider against the dangerous power bat of Nelson Cruz.
The 0-2.
Huge block there by Avila. Huge block.
Yeah, if not, you put the go-ahead run into scoring position.
I mean, you call for that breaking ball, you know you've got to get down, close your legs, put your hands between your legs and make sure the ball doesn't scoot through, and Avila did it perfectly.
7-6 Tigers lead, 2 on 1 out, 9th inning. It's a 5-run 9th for the Orioles. And the 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Chris Davis, he started the inning with a base hit. He's waiting on deck. Low, and now it's 3-2.
Too much of a gamble here. And to start the runners on a 3-2 count with Cruz in the batter's box. He strikes out frequently. And then you add in the fact that Chris Davis in the on-deck circle. But we'll see what Buck Showalter's thinking.
Three and 2 on Cruz. And time called as Joe is about to deliver. Seven runs, 13 hits for the Tigers, 6 runs on 10 hits now for the Orioles. They're trying to mount a big 9th inning comeback. Swing and a miss to strike him out, and Cruz is a huge out. 2 away. On a 3-2 pitch.
It's a gutsy pitch. It's a slider. It's down, it's away, and Cruz couldn't hold up on it.
But here is Chris Davis now with 2 outs. And the crowd coming to its feet. Davis has seen Nathan 3 times. He has struck out all 3 times against him. Ball 1 up and in. Davis started the inning with a single. 2 hits in the ball game today. In the air, shallow left field. Davis coming over. He's there, and the Tigers hold on to win. A scary 9th inning. Tighten this one up considerably, but Joe Nathan gets the final 2 outs, and the Tigers have won the first 2 in this series. You can now exhale. A whole lot more coming up from Comerica Park. There's your final 7-6.